Hello everybody, and welcome to Ancient Architects. This video isn't about an ancient mystery, a new theory or interpretation, but it is to simply document an important megalithic structure that has recently been severely damaged by the destructive forces of modern humanity. More than half of the Ain Dara temple in Syria, a majestic Syro-Hittite temple dating back to the first millennium BC, has been reduced to rubble in a recent Turkish airstrike, with much of the amazing ancient stonework lost forever. The site boasts intricate stone sculptures of lions and sphinxes, elaborately decorated walls and geometric designs, floral patterns, animals and mythical creatures. The site was built more than 3,000 years ago, around 1300 BC, and is a true work of art, the result of hundreds of hours of workmanship, and after standing for thousands of years, in one day much of it was destroyed. The site now resembles a pile of rubble, after the airstrike hit the ancient site during an attack on the Kurdish-held area around the city of Afrin, sometime between January the 20th and January the 22nd, 2018. The Syrian government has condemned the attack as a deliberate assault. The Turkish government may well deny this, but pointing blame at this stage is irrelevant. The damage is done, and one of the most important monuments built in Syria by the Syro-Hittites has been partly destroyed forever. The Syro-Hittites were an ancient northwest Semitic tribal confederation who emerged in the Late Bronze Age following the collapse of the Hittite kingdom. In one of the most important battles in ancient history, Ramesses II fought the Hittites in the Battle of Kadesh, a conflict that ended with the signing of the world's first treaty. Following the battle, there was a power vacuum in the eastern Mediterranean, which was filled by the Syro-Hittite states, who went on to become the dominant power in the region until the end of the 8th century BC. The temple is an important piece of religious architecture that documents the end of the Hittite kingdom. It was discovered in 1955 when a colossal basalt lion was found, and as the site was excavated, the full splendour of Ain Dara emerged. Before its destruction, it was the most extensively excavated and best understood structure of its kind in Syria. It was elaborately decorated, with a series of basalt orthostats that lined its exterior and interior walls. The thresholds of the doorways contain unique decoration that consists of two giant footprints carved into the exterior threshold, as well as a single footprint on either side of the two interior thresholds. Inside, there is also a carving of the goddess Shorska, a variant of Ishtar, which may have been added by the conquering Assyrians centuries after the temple was built. Furthermore, some biblical historians have argued that the temple's layout and decorations resembled the description of King Solomon's temple, and that one temple may have influenced the other. Because archaeological remains of Solomon's temple have not been found, the few remaining temples of that region from that time period are invaluable for understanding what the temple might have looked like. For me, the most interesting feature of the temple are the giant metre-long footprints that were carved into the stone floor of the temple. One pair is found on the floor of the portico, and there are also two single footprints found 9 metres apart. What they represented, nobody knows, but they are certainly a curiosity. Some think they are animal prints, while some believe they represented the footprints of the gods. Perhaps they represented the resident deity as they entered their own temple. Who knows? Whatever the truth, sadly now we may never know. According to the ASOR Cultural Heritage Institute, many of the 3,000-year-old stone carvings were destroyed. The site was already fragile from years of weathering and erosion, but now it is almost certainly in fragments. Some of the site is recoverable and some of the stone carvings have survived, but the airstrike heavily damaged the central and southeastern portions of the ancient building. This news deeply saddens me. The airstrike on the Ain Dara temple isn't just a blow for the people of Syria, it is a blow for us all. And of course, this isn't an isolated event. Through ongoing conflicts, much that was once sacred in the Middle East has been destroyed, whether by rebel groups, Western governments or home states, and whether by accident or on purpose, the loss is irreplaceable. In recent years, Islamic State fighters have deliberately destroyed a number of archaeological sites in the country, including the UNESCO World Heritage Site of Palmyra. Of course, the huge loss of human life far outweighs the destruction of ancient architecture. But when will enough be enough? Michael Dante, an archaeologist at ASOR, believes that historical sites may be increasingly targeted in the Syrian conflict. He said, "This event marks a shift in tactics that could result in significant destruction of cultural assets over the coming months, in a region that contains a high density of heritage sites and standing ancient remains. The ancient history of humanity belongs to us all. We all share common ancestors, wherever we are in the world today. We need to treat the history of the ancient world with respect, because once it is destroyed, we are removing part of the human story forever, and it is our descendants who will suffer the consequences." Thank you very much for watching this episode of Ancient Architects. If you enjoyed the video, please subscribe to the channel, please hit the like button, and please leave a comment below. Thank you very much.